The COVID 19 lockdown impacted all of us. For migrants, they lost their jobs, livelihoods. For businesses, many had to shut shops. It affected everyone and every aspect of human life. While we talk about all of these aspects, we often tend to forget those who need our attention the most, the orphans. They are a part of our society we hardly think about on priority basis whenever in crisis, whereas it should be the contrary. But then there are some people who dedicate their entire lives to these neglected children of the society. Sneha Sadan is one such organization which has been a home to countless young children, orphans, dejected, street kids who the society often overlooks. Started in 1962, Sneha Sadan is more than just an orphanage. Just like its name, it provides a house of love to those in need. So far, Sneha Sadan has been a home to 30,000 children. Currently, it has 13 Sneha Sadans in different parts of Mumbai. What sets Sneha Sadan apart from other orphanages?
So the boys' homes, they have a couple looking after the children, and we call them house parents. So a real couple who have their own children, and they live with these 15-20 other boys, and they bring up their own children along with these children. So which is a kind of a unique concept, a concept unique to Sneha Sadan. The girls' homes, of course, have religious sisters or nuns looking after the girls' homes, because we cannot have a man residing in a girls' home. So that is like the basic setup of Mumbai, of the Sneha Sadan, and it is our homes are all in the western suburbs: Andheri East, Andheri West, Jogeshwari East, Jogeshwari West, then Borivali, Gorai, and Lonavla. The 13 homes are spread out among these homes. The main thing is that we need parents who really care for children, who love children. Presently, it is true that a number of these house parents are either ex-boys or ex-girls of Sneha Sadan who have stayed for several years in Sneha Sadan, so they are very familiar with the whole way in which it runs. Then they have moved out. Once they have become adults, they have moved out, got jobs, they have settled themselves well, got married, settled well outside, and then they have opted back, like they to come back as house parents and give back something to the institution. But at the same time, there are also some house parents who are from outside, and yet they have like heard about Sneha Sadan, heard about this whole concept of house parents, and they have volunteered to come here as house parents.
The house parents ensure that personal attention is given to each child, unlike other orphanages where employees work on shifts. The concept of house parents brings a homely feeling for the children. Each couple looks after a small group of children, which ensures parents are able to connect and form a bond with each of them.
The homes are all open homes. We don't believe in this concept of closed homes, keeping the children under lock and key. We don't believe in that, because once they are above 18 or 20, when they have to once again move into regular society, if you keep a child locked up within an institution for 10 years, 15 years or 8-9 years, totally secluded from the rest of society, and then suddenly once the child is turned 18, oh, that magical figure has passed, the child is above 18, the child is no longer a child now the child needs to move out of the institution and has to intermingle with society immediately. It's very difficult. The child will find it very, very difficult to once again mix with society.
Sneha Sadan also ensures that the children receive the best schooling and do not miss the most important years of their educational lives. Most of the children go to the neighboring schools based on their language and medium preferences. Sneha Sadan also helps the kids to pursue their higher studies. While generous hands of many well-wishers, donors kept the organization going, lockdown was harsh on Sneha Sadan.
So during the COVID thing, of course, right in the initial stages itself, within a short time, we realized that like funds could be a major problem, because firstly, as I mentioned, that we used to have many donors who come, well-wishers, volunteers who come visiting our homes and all that. So much of that, in fact, it entirely had to stop once the lockdown and all came. So those visits stopped. So with the visits, of course, many of the donations in kind or even in cash and checks and so on, those things, many of them reduced. They reduced very much. So at one stage there was a really a kind of a fear of, there was a wonder that whether what about our foodstuffs, groceries, rations and so on and all, would we fall short of that, because when things were little, the stocks were going down and all. But then at one stage we had made an appeal and all, like through WhatsApp, through Facebook and all, we had made an appeal, and that was the silver lining in this kind of a dark cloud, was that people did respond quite well, and that is really like, it gave us great joy to see that when we made a very small appeal like that, people did respond, at least in terms of groceries and like food grains and all. So that was, we were really happy that like we got sufficient quantity that we didn't have to worry, at least as far as basic food grains and those things are concerned.
But with COVID-19, other expenses have also risen. Medical expenses, educational expenses are still a cause of worry.
Suddenly having some serious sickness and all the expenses involved in that. So medical, education, then even other administrative costs, the salaries and all other things, and other food expenses also, beside those basic food grains and things like that. So these are all things which continue to remain concerns, and mainly because we don't know the future, considering like the situation where everything that we hear and we are like kind of aware of, and we are hearing all around about the difficulties which the economy is going through in India at present. So it is really the concern like that this is not a matter of 15 days, 20 days, 1 month. Maybe the economy may take 6 months to recover, maybe it may take a couple of years to recover. So during that time, what is going to be the future kind of inflow of funds, donations that we are going to receive, is like the major cause of concern.
With the new normal of online education system, Sneha Sadan has managed to get few mobile phones where the children can attend classes through Zoom meetings, but it is still struggling to find more resources. The world is gearing up for post-pandemic life, but without our donations and lending hand, Sneha Sadan and the children may find it difficult to keep up with the post-pandemic world. Your one generous act may make their transition to the new normal easier. When we donate, children of Sneha Sadan have a chance at good life. If you wish to donate, please visit www.snehasadan.org.